The product continues to find its footing, even if Kushida can't. This is NXT.
Welcome, everybody, to What's NXT for October 9th, 2019. I'm your host, the Rated R reviewer, Stefan Osborne, joined as always by the General Jerry Slaughter.
Good morning, wrestling fans.
And we got 7 matches, one of which was a title match that started the show.
Yep.
I don't know if I would call this as great of a show as it was last week, but not bad in the slightest at any point in the show.
I think if anything, they showed it even with not all title matches, which is pretty much what we got this last time. They're starting to showcase more of who we're going to be seeing within the next week or two, and it's building more storylines, more video packages, more announcements for other matches.
And hyping us the fuck up for next week's episode.
Seriously.
Holy shit.
It's like, this is what I like. I think, I'm not going to say this right now, this is what I like most about this episode, was the fact that you've got both the competitors seemingly talking about how badly they're going to beat each other up within this show, and they're going to be fighting each other this next week. We're actually getting better builds for these awesome matches we're going to be getting. And I think that's the reason why I like this new almost hour and a half, 2 hour format that they're getting now, because we get more of that build up.
Well, you say that, basically we watch it on demand, so we fast forward the commercials.
Yeah.
And we get it at an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is 2 hours. Actually, this was 2 hours plus. This was like 2 hours and 15 minutes. Again, it went over. We didn't have the same problem we did last week.
Nope.
With the DVR. Somebody got in touch with somebody, and they recorded the 15 minutes after the 2 hour ending spot.
Yeah. You should have just kept your mouth shut, because I was going to give you credit for extending it out 15 minutes. It's like, thank God.
No, I didn't think to record the show that comes on after it. I should do that from now on. I used to have to do that with USA's shows. But anyway, we start this show with the Cruiserweight Championship match, and a very specific distinction here.
Yeah.
It is now the NXT Cruiserweight Championship.
It was rechristened over the weekend, I think it was. Or, no, this past week it was.
I feel like come Friday night, we are not going to see 205 Live again this week.
No.
I think this is just the nail in the coffin that now the 205 Live's signature title, the Cruiserweight Championship, is the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. Mm-hmm. So, Lio Rush challenges Drew Gulak, and this was a fun match.
Oh, yeah.
Even out of Drew Gulak, who is Mr. No-Fly Zone. Let me check in and see if we have anybody joining us. We have the Cleaver Colin Andrew and the Holiday Chris Mace, who is an admin. So watch your shit, he'll throw you out. Just kidding. This was my favorite match of the night. The opening match. Of course it was, Chris. Of course it was.
Co-captain of the 205 Live Matters, which,
it may not matter anymore. It may not exist anymore. But
it may be antimatter.
I have 6 notes on this match. I didn't think I was going to enjoy this as much as I did.
Yeah.
But before I break down the high spots, what did you think?
I love this match. I knew, going into it, that we're going to get something relatively special out of these two, because granted, Lio Rush, I think, is getting a title match a little quick, but at the same time, he's also established name in the WWE, and also had established himself pretty well out in the independent circuit. So, for him to face Drew Gulak, it was actually really cool, because Lio Rush Rush isn't exactly
Orthodox?
Yeah, he's got the speed, he's got the swiftness to him and everything, and then you have Gulak, who had to try to keep him pinned down the whole time with submissions and holds and everything else. It was just entertaining from front to back. It was a great match.
The Cleaver Colin Andrews says, "Are we invested in the cruiserweight match?" Yes, very much so.
We are invested. Yes,
we are invested. My first note is Rush dodges a basement drop kick out of the gate. This is the very beginning of the match. I guess Gulak was going for the win. He was going to kick him into the corner and then probably hit him with a finisher. But Rush dodges and ends up hitting a Spanish fly on Gulak, who runs back at him and gets a near fall.
No Spanish fly zone. This isn't a Brock Lesnar Kofi Kingston match. It went on for longer than 10 seconds.
I think before the commercial break, Gulak kicks Rush off of the top turnbuckle. And he doesn't kick him off towards the ring, he kicks him off towards the outside, and he goes he falls into the ring crew.
Yeah, we're on top of them.
They caught his ass. So anyway, Gulak dodges that springboard stunner that we saw out of Lio Rush last week, or the week prior, I think, where he bounces off the bottom rope with the backs of his thighs, essentially. I was going to say his ass, but really it's his legs. But anyway, he dodges that and he gets him in. Was it a
body scissor, dragon sleeper?
Yeah, dragon sleeper. But out of that, somehow Lio Rush counters that into a dragon sleeper of his own because he doubles back and makes it into a pin.
Yep.
And so when Gulak gets up, he latches in his own dragon sleeper. And then something else with a dragon sleeper. Oh yeah. And then Gulak hits a cyclone suplex.
Mm-hmm.
He counters the dragon sleeper. Near fall because Lio Rush gets his leg on the ropes. And then Rush hits a cross-body frog splash.
Yep.
And then hits that springboard stunner.
Yep.
Then hits a lowdown.
Yeah.
Off of the top rope.
This was a very high lowdown.
I thought that this was going to be a near fall, like a teaser. No.
Nope.
1, 2, 3. Lio Rush gets the win. And I guess, man, essentially 2 frog splashes and a stunner.
Yeah.
That's got to do anybody in. And in this case, it did. He goes to celebrate, and William Regal comes out and presents him with takes the title from him just to present him with the title. And then Gulak gets back in the ring and tears the title off of his waist. And you think, what a dick, right? But I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming. And but it doesn't make it any more special. Gulak hands him the championship and shakes his hand. Job well done.
So, do you think they're actually just going to refashion it to get the W off of it and just make it the NXT championship over the weekend or something?
I hope to God it turns out a different color than purple. I get it. Purple is a mix of blue and red.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna make it an outlandish color, for the God's sake, somebody make an orange belt.
Oh God, you and your fucking orange.
For God's sakes, make an orange belt. Other than that,
orange is such a horrendous color.
Just a black strap, man. Just a black strap.
Black strap. Black strap is fine.
Dark gray, if you want to be weird about it. But
right.
Black. And then somehow put the NXT logo in there instead of that big ass WWE logo.
Yeah.
Or just refashion the whole belt. Because really, I don't think the NXT logo is the kind that breaks down into a little circular symbol like that.
I could probably see it as like a black belt with a NXT or the NXT logo with all silver in the middle.
Well, the double W with the swoosh.
Yeah.
I mean, it is essentially fashioned right in the middle, really big, and to replace it would be fine, but you'd have all that dead space in between that NXT logo that looks like that. Yeah. So I think just refashion the belt, just whole new belt.
I'm hoping that's what they end up doing, because having a former, WWE belt that seemingly has been demoted, I guess you can say.
Well, they did it with all the NXT belts. Fuck it, let's do it with the Cruiserweight title.
Well, they need to go ahead and do it with the not the North American, the UK title as well.
Well, just rebrand that one. That would be fine.
Yeah, that's the only reason I think Lio Rush got the belt put on it, was the fact that they're turning it into the NXT belt.
But on the UK title, we can show you.
Yeah.
See, the WWE logo easily
is
replaceable with the NXT logo. It's not all big and like
it's not right there.
On the Cruiserweight title, it's fucking huge.
Yeah, it is the Cruiserweight title.
Huge. So, after they show Kushida and Walter in the back getting ready for their matches, Kushida, like, shadow boxing with the
Breezango.
Yeah, Breezango.
Mm-hmm.
The Fashion Police, that's what I was trying to think of. And Walter in the back with Imperium. We get a video package for Finn Balor, who returned last week to NXT, and apparently this is now his brand. Mark's Reviews is with us again. Colin, we're just like them. Oh, they're having their own little conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So, we actually get 2 video packages for Finn Balor, because we don't actually see Finn Balor this week.
No.
But we'll get to the other one. We'll just mention it. I don't know what else to say about NXT video packages.
They're phenomenal, always.
I think the only time it's worth mentioning anything is when they are, like, anomalously bad.
Yeah.
Like the one we had from Cameron Grimes a few weeks ago before he went on this crazy winning streak.
Well, that was more like a interview than anything else, and yeah, that just went poorly.
It wasn't even an interview. Nobody asked him any questions. It was like a selfie promo, only had a cameraman do it for him.
Yeah. Like, selfie promos can bomb here and there, but it's also just them, like, trying things out to see what will work. That didn't work.
So we get another video package. This is for Tegan Knox and her rehab and her friendship, a little bit in there with Dakota Kai.
Team Kick,
who we will see, not both of them, we will see Dakota Kai later. In the meantime, we have a women's match, and my favorite.
Yep.
Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley comes out.
Just that brilliant entrance.
Automatically going to be an awesome night when Rhea Ripley shows up. And she didn't disappoint at all.
No, I thought it couldn't get any better, but then her opponent is Aaliyah, and Aaliyah always comes out with Vanessa Bourne. And this week, Vanessa Bourne was wearing a black mini dress.
Yep.
And, good God, that
eyes fell out of his head, people.
Holy crap.
Fell out of his head.
Like, Rhea Ripley is hot in a completely different way, but Vanessa Bourne is just... Anyway. This wasn't much of a match.
No.
Aaliyah got a few shots in that she later regretted, one of which was like a slap to the back and a drag of the nails.
The drag of the nails is what kind of did her in.
Yeah, Rhea just beats her down, puts her in that inverted clover leaf.
Nigel called it the scorpion lock this time around.
And it was, the size difference is so large that when she lifts it up, Aaliyah has to support herself by grabbing Rhea's legs. And I'm like, this seems a little weird, but I'll allow it. But then Rhea starts doing an airplane with it.
Yeah.
Or a helicopter spin. And then stops just to swing her up and face plant her into the mat while still holding on that inverted clover leaf. And she fucking taps.
It's the first time I've actually seen anybody actually tap from it. So, maybe that's the route they're going to go from now on. Possibly give her that as a submission hold versus using the Riptide all the time. Because in the long run, the Riptide's kind of a weak-looking move. And if she could actually just inflict more punishment, and if she's going to be going against Shayna Baszler, they're going to want to use that Scorpion lock in there somewhere. So...
I'm all for it being a second finisher.
Mm-hmm.
I especially for video game purposes, it's always great to have one power finisher and one submission finisher.
I'm surprised more people don't use the House of Pain. The House of Pain was a sick-looking move.
So after the victory, Rhea grabs a mic and she essentially calls out Shayna Baszler.
Oh, yeah.
She said, "You have made everybody tap." I can't remember.
Tap, nap, or snap.
There you go. Tap, nap, or snap, except me.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, and I quote, "I'm coming for you."
Yep.
And that puts the crowd in a hype.
Oh, yeah.
After that, we get, I'm sure, a commercial. And then an entrance that we couldn't place.
I initially thought it was Heavy Machinery coming back. And then... there was like 2 model type chicks that came out, and I'm like, Oh God.
Is this a? I was thinking, is this a new women's tag team? No, no, because then two dudes come out, but you don't see them because they're silhouettes because the screen's going, and then it's fucking Breezango.
Yeah, trying out something new again, folks. That
Men at work.
I'm loving this whole thing. We're just trying different gimmicks and everything, but I'm starting to wonder if we're gonna just end up with Johnny Curtis and Tyler Breeze by the end of it. I really think we are.
I'm just loving Beth Phoenix's commentary here because she talks about how they're supposedly really good at hammering things.
And she wants some pipe laid down or some crap.
She
or
wanted her pipes
pipe
clean.
Unclogged, yeah.
Yeah, she was hoping they could clean her pipes, and I'm like, wow, okay, okay.
Calm down, Beth.
Yeah, jeez. She tries to make up for it later. Apparently, because Edge,
Yeah. She's like, I gotta get out of the doghouse somehow.
Somebody was a big fan of Edge. I can't remember who it was. That might have been a different match, but anyway.
Oh, it was.
I've got several notes here because the beginning of the match is a note in itself because it's supposed to be them versus Everrise, I think, again.
Yeah.
But Everrise doesn't come out. They are dragged out.
By
Jackson
one man,
Riker.
Jackson Riker.
Yeah.
It's not even the Forgotten Sons bringing them out. It's Jackson Riker.
Just Jackson Riker.
That just shows how big a powerhouse this dude is. Like, he's picking up these guys, like, I guess way together about
I think he was
300
carrying
pounds
one guy and
over his shoulder and dragging the other one out. Yes.
And this brings out Steve Cutler, Wesley Blake, the other members of the Forgotten Sons, and this is now our match. And it seems a little contrived because I can't remember the new announcer lady's name, but she goes right into announcing them as the tag team that they're facing.
Yeah. There's no announcement. Okay. There's no announcement from Regal. There's no referee making an announcement or anything, or running over to the announce table saying, "Okay, this is the match now." So.
Yeah. Sure. Why not?
I didn't get that at all, but it took me a second. But then I realized we've already seen this match. We saw this in Toronto. What the hell's going on?
But it wasn't a bad match.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. If anything, it was better than the match we actually saw in Toronto.
It was relatively short and kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I've got several notes here. What do you think about it?
I thought, like, Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler showed more great teamwork, which is weird because you would think that the two main brand guys, or former main brand guys, would have actually put forth more of an effort, but no. Cutler and Blake, they are still pulling off innovative looking stuff. Like, at one point we saw Tyler Breeze with his neck hung on the second rope, and I believe it was Cutler doing a standing arm drag to Blake right onto
hip toss.
A standing hip toss. And I was like,
he hip tossed his partner, Steve Cutler, into Breeze's back, where Cutler ends up flipping over the top rope and landing on the apron.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
That's some intense stuff right there.
That was my first note of the match.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, they're battling on the top rope, and Breeze ends up pulling one of... I can never tell the difference, except with the back touch.
I was about to say, if they're close enough and the names are on the sides of the tights, we're good.
He pulls the head through or towards the legs, over the top turnbuckle for that super kick with the head between the foot and the turnbuckle. It always looks so sick. And then Fandango goes up to the top rope and hits a sunset bomb.
Yep.
And then I think they're setting up here for the dual super kicks or fashion model kicks or whatever. Supermodel kicks, that's what it is.
Okay.
But Riker pulls Breeze out of the ring after a distraction by, again, one of the guys. And throws him into the post. And then Fandango comes off the ropes and does this tope con hilo, I think, onto Riker to take him out. But that also takes Fandango out. Breeze gets back in the ring, and we see a powerbomb into double knees in the corner. by the Forgotten Sons, and then they do that reverse DDT with the stomp off the middle rope.
The memory remains, yes.
1, 2, 3. Forgotten Sons get their win back.
Yeah.
Great.
So now we get a rubber match fight between them two. So, but speaking of rubber match,
we will get there. We will get there.
We are getting there.
Oh yeah, that is next.
Yes.
After this match, we get a video promo for Keith Lee. But this isn't just a promo for Keith Lee.
No.
This is a setup for a rematch again. Match number 4, Keith Lee, Dominik Dijakovic, next week. This is the rubber match, because the first match, neither won.
Yep.
The second match, Dijakovic won.
Yep.
Third match, Lee won. This is going to be, and I will give away a spoiler for later, this is going to be the main event.
The main event
for next
of next week.
So, fucking wow.
I think they impressed people so much with like their performances last week or a couple weeks prior that they had no choice but to A, make this last match happen, and B, make it the main event for the show.
Well, we wondered why it wasn't the main event for the third match. Now we know.
Yep.
Now we know why.
I'm surprised they didn't add some sort of stipulation to it, though, in some way, shape, or form.
To quote the general,
yeah.
In some way, shape, or form.
In some way, shape, or form, there should have been a stipulation added.
I don't know. I don't know if they need one, honestly.
Just show they're the best, but
right.
Or maybe by the end of the match, they'll do that show of respect thing, and maybe Regal will come out and say, if you guys can put aside your differences, I think I'd like to have you guys face off against the Undisputed Era for the tag titles.
So, speaking of the best, we've got Cameron Grimes coming up next, who is on a fucking hot streak. He's facing Boa, who is super tall for Chinese.
He's super tall, he's Chinese, that's really all there is to him at this point.
They keep talking about his striking ability, his kicks, like he's Muay Thai and I think Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
They're really high on this guy, but he's really low on the totem pole for being so tall.
This match starts, and immediately Cameron Grimes is like pointing out of the ring, and sure enough, Killian Dane is coming to the fucking ring.
Yeah.
But suddenly Boa is interested in the match again, comes running at Cameron Grimes, and didn't learn from a few weeks ago. Insta finisher, double feet to the chest off that jump.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Cameron Grimes wins just as Killian Dane is sliding into the ring. And Cameron Grimes gets the fuck out of Dodge.
He grabs his hat and he's runs.
Gone, man.
Knees to chest.
And, yeah, he knows because Killian Dane comes in and starts laying waste to Boa. A couple of Vader bombs, and then drags him over to the announce booth and does a really weak, like, kind of a throw slam.
He drops him like the boar and like Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Onto the table and says something about he's not done.
Yeah, this isn't finished, or this is just the beginning.
Yeah, something like that right there. And then we get a video promo for Damian Priest, who is talking about his attack on Pete Dunne last week, and he says, look, Pete Dunne is a name.
Yep.
And that's all I'm using. I'm using his name so that my name will become immortal.
Yep. And that it's going to be an awesome match.
Yeah. And you say that, and I'll go ahead and give it away now. We are going to get that match. In the meantime, we've got Roderick Strong, the North American Champion, versus Isaiah Swerve Scott in a non-title match.
And I'm going to say this right now, this could have been just a regular run-of-the-mill match, but I'm pretty sure it stole the show.
Yeah, I have so many notes for this match.
So Isaiah Swerve Scott, if he didn't impress you, like in his outing on the breakout tournament, granted he lost that match, but this was just an awesome showing from him in general.
Holy crap. Yeah, he looked great in this match and so fluid. This guy is far from green. Like, he is really cool to watch.
It's like he's the complete opposite of Super Green.
He just
which
fucking
is weird because in Fifth Element, Super Green is a good thing.
He just rolls and flips all around the ring, and not in like some manic or weird stuff. Just very fluid.
There's
It's
no
just
wasted
amazing.
motion with him in any
No.
way, shape, or form. Yes, I'm saying it again. Meatloaf.
Before I dig into this, because I didn't even write down all of the cool spots, just some of them, and it still took up so much space. Uh, Break down the match from your point of view, real quick.
Well, you have like
Or real long.
pretty much decades of experience at this point from Roderick Strong, and then you got all the indie cred and the indie knowledge coming out of Isaiah.
And the
Swerve
cool new
Scott.
nickname.
The Isaiah Swerve Scott, yes, and a lot of people probably just brushed off Scott right at the beginning of the match because like this is the undisputed era here. We're talking about the U.S. champion. We're talking non-title. Nothing's really going to happen in this match. What we saw is more or less a star born tonight. If it weren't for the fact that he's not nearly as established in WWE product and not as familiar with the fans as Leo Rush was, I could have seen him taking the belt off of Gulak at the start of the show. That's how great Isaiah Scott looked in this match.
Yeah. Yeah, he made Roderick look great off of the victory.
Yeah, and Strong in turn actually made him look super strong too by hitting him with like what 8 different variations of the backbreaker.
Something like that. Okay, so my first note here is Swerve with what I call a forward drop slam, where he picks him up for the vertical, but then drops him forward on his face.
Mm-hmm.
And he flips over, and he does this weird cartwheel splash using the ropes. I cannot describe it with words. You literally just have to see it.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Was it like the first rope that he just kind of bounced off of? Like he just did this almost like hop, skip, and jump flip, and I'm like,
just parkour. He parkoured off the ropes into a splash. I don't know how to describe it, but he does some other cool shit, but then goes to roll into what I called the little Jimmy, just a flatliner, a jumping flatliner, and Strong catches him in midair and hits him with a backbreaker out of it.
Yep.
Let's see, and then Strong's on the middle buckle, but Swerve kicks his legs out from under him, grabs him up. What does he hit first? He hits a super kick and then grabs him up and hits a draping DDT.
Yep.
Near fall. Hits a German suplex into that, and then that rolling flatliner, and then a side kick, like a jumping side kick to the side of fucking Strong's face.
Right in the ear. It looked like it was right in the ear to me. Like Nigel's like right in the jaw. I'm like, no, right in the ear.
So they both end up on the apron after the kick out. Strong ends up on the apron.
Yeah.
And then Swerve like pulls his legs out from under him or kicks him, and then drop kicks him, where Roderick is dangling by his toes on the bottom rope. So Swerve like jumps over the top rope and lands a double kick to the chest.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool as fuck. Throws him back in the ring. And by this point, the Undisputed Era has already come out. They're on the stage, occasionally coming towards the ring on the ramp just to cheer on Roderick. But they start coming towards the ring.
Yeah.
And as Swerve is getting back in the ring, he tells them, hey, back the fuck up.
Pretty much.
But then
Onyx style.
Turns to get back in the ring and catches a running knee to the face. And then, how does he
sick
finish
kick, pretty much.
Yeah. And then a Claymore. He comes off the ropes with a Claymore kick, and then the end of Heartache. Doesn't stop there. Puts him in his version of the Lion Tamer.
The Stronghold.
And we get another tap out victory on this show. I don't think that's the last one either. Is it? It might be.
But you think it'd be over from there? But no, it's just beginning.
No, because Undisputed Era gets in the ring and Adam Cole gets on the mic because he wants to jaw jack.
Yep.
And that's basically all he's there trying to do.
He gives Isaiah Scott credit, says he was great, but he wasn't better than Strong.
Yeah, he wants to talk smack about everybody. He's talking smack about Ciampa and Finn Balor. And this brings out Tommaso Ciampa,
Mm-hmm.
who comes out with a crutch in tow. Not using the crutch, dragging the crutch
Yep.
maniacally. And then when he gets to the ringside area, he thinks about it real quick and then also grabs a folding chair. And as he's coming up the steps to get in the ring, Undisputed Era hits dodge. They're gone, and they run back up the ramp. And
That's pretty impressive when one dude with pretty much a broken neck can make you run out of the ring with a crutch and a chair in hand.
they might have been closer to ringside, but they definitely got out of dodge. Ciampa sets up the chair facing the Tron, sits down, and looks longingly at Michael Cole's, or not Michael Cole's, Adam Cole's shoulder, and he says, "Goldie, Daddy's home." Yeah, that ends that. But that was awesome. That was fucking awesome.
Even before then, we had a Velveteen Dream show up.
Oh yeah, I miss Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
Before Ciampa even shows up, yeah, we got Velveteen Dream interrupting from that perch that they built.
Because he heard the word dream and automatically assumed they were talking about him.
And he's got lasers and fog and smoke machines and blah blah blah. And he says essentially that he gets a rematch for the North American Championship in 2 weeks. Or is it next week? No, in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So that's cool. Something to look forward to in 2 weeks. But oh my god, next week's show, dude.
Yep.
I mean, just Keith Lee and Dominic Dijakovic for.
I can't even get hyped about the show from 2 weeks because I'm already hyped up about the show for next week. So.
Right.
But that says a lot, though, because now they're going to be hyping next week, like, you know, the show in 2 weeks, next week.
They're hyping next week's show. They're hyping the show after that. They're hyping this show. Because after this, we get a video promo for Kushida versus Walter, which is our main event tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing a good job of just getting you hyped for your current show and everything in the near future. Considering we don't have a pay-per-view anytime soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was awesome. Again, a great NXT video promo.
Shortly after, we get Kathy Kelly, I think, in the backstage area, trying to get a word with
Tommaso Ciampa.
And she runs it afoul of Angel Garza.
Yeah, who's just hanging out shirtless in the backstage area.
Tries to pick up on her. Doesn't work out very well.
Yeah, he wants an interview, but she wants one with Ciampa. And he takes exception to that. He basically interrupts the interview before Ciampa can say anything, and
says a whole bunch of stuff in Spanish.
Yeah, and then Ciampa just punches his lights out.
Yep. And Kathy Kelly asks him, "What did he say to you?" He's like, "I don't know."
Yeah.
He just walks off.
That was awesome. I just now get the joke, honestly.
Yeah.
Because why did you punch him out? What did he say? Right. And he's like, I don't know.
I'm Ciampa.
I'm Ciampa. Oh, just the crowd reaction.
I'm Blackheart, damn it. A little bit of Owen Hart there.
So we've got our second women's match of the night, the one we alluded to earlier, Dakota Kai versus Bianca Belair.
And who didn't think this was going to be a great match?
Yeah, this was a really fun match. And I've got a few notes for it, but it's not really all that reminiscent of the actual match, because the match was fairly long.
Yeah. Well, the match itself was just more about Bianca showing off her strength and her agility and whatnot, and we had to see more, like, Dakota Kai actually mess with Bianca's head a little bit, doing the same taunts and kicking the living crap out of her.
Yeah, a lot of soccer penalty kicks.
Yeah, a lot of penalty kicks. That you have to expect that of a chick from the team kick, but at the same time, the match could have gone either way, because Dakota Kai's second match back since she's been back in the company,
yeah.
And Bianca Belair is reestablishing or trying to reestablish herself. Because I went into this in a little bit of a long spiel while we were watching the match. Bianca is more or less the gatekeeper for the Women's Championship here in NXT. A win against her could propel you to a match with Shayna Baszler. A loss to her could put you way back down the bottom of the totem pole.
But it doesn't get Bianca Belair any closer to a women's title because she's already had like 2 shots.
There's a glass ceiling firmly placed where she's at this point.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much the same thing with Candice LeRae. That's why I couldn't really imagine her pulling off the winning against Baszler this last time. She's good. She's actually great, really. But at the same time, taking the belt off Shayna Baszler right now doesn't make much sense.
Well, there's a few women in the division that I do not want to see another match with Shayna Baszler. And she's one of them. Yeah, Mia Yim, Bianca Belair, Io Shirai. I wouldn't mind seeing another one with Candice LeRae. We only got to see the one.
I think Io Shirai is going to head up and hang out with the Kabuki Warriors now, though.
Possibly.
Since they're evil.
So, this match went on for a while. My first notes aren't till towards the end. We get to see that running face wash in the corner from Dakota Kai, but she only gets a near fall. And then she does this handstand on Bianca Belair's shoulders and then comes down with a double knees to the chest. Again, just a near fall. And then Belair comes back, hits a double chicken wing face buster, and then a running shooting star press, but only gets a near fall. She gets frustrated, goes again, just a 2 count. But they end up trading a few kicks, but Dakota Kai goes for that bicycle kick one too many times.
Yep.
Belair dodges it, catches her for KOD. 1, 2, 3. Bianca Belair gets a little bit of momentum because. So she grabs a mic and you called it.
Yeah.
Immediately. And your commentary about it during the match just went right into this.
Yeah.
So she, instead of calling out Shayna Baszler, she calls out Rhea Ripley and basically tells her that, again, she is the gateway. Like, if you want a shot at Shayna Baszler, you got to go through me. She doesn't even say, I deserve the shot, so if you want it, let's fight for it.
It sounds more like she's protecting Shayna Baszler.
She's the hitman. She's the bodyguard for Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
And you got to go through her. So this is setting up that match. And spoiler alert, well, no, we don't get confirmation yet, I don't think.
No, we don't.
But I'm telling you, that match is going to happen.
It's
spoiler
going
alert.
to, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll probably get that in 2 weeks.
This is not a prediction. This is a spoiler, folks.
We'll probably get that same week as Strong versus a Velveteen Dream. They'll probably announce that next week.
So to mirror our earlier promo with Keith Lee, we now get a video promo for Dominik Dijakovic, and he basically says he knows the code to crack Keith Lee. He knows how to beat him. He just wasn't able to do it last time.
He beat him that first time. Didn't beat him that second time, but he'll beat him the third.
Yeah, he's going to beat him again.
Yep. And that's when we get the announcement that it's not only going to be, that like in that next week or that next week. We already got that from Keith Lee. We get the announcement that's going to be the main event.
Yeah. So in the spirit of dual video packages, we get a video package. This is where we get Finn Balor again. And it's just a continuation of the story. After that, we get a video promo for Pete Dunne, who is answering the one that we got earlier from Damian Priest.
And he's pretty much just him training and ask him the question that's on everybody's mind: how he plans on shooting a bow and arrow with broken fingers.
Yeah, he says he's trying to make his name not infamous, but everlasting. He's trying to make his name immortal, but he says be careful that it doesn't end next week.
Yep.
So yeah, we get that match next week. Pete Dunne versus Damian Priest, as if there wasn't enough to bite our teeth into.
I said this also. Something that's felt missing from Dunne's matches lately has been his telegraphing and his almost chess-like maneuvers with his opponents. So I'm hoping we see more of that again with the Damian Priest match. Have him look like he's been watching his videos and knows what he's going to be striking, what he's going to be doing, and just start setting up little traps here and there for him to, exploit them.
Now, speaking of matches for next week, there is an announcement at the very end of the show, after the main event, for another match next week. And I want to go ahead and talk about it now before we get into the main event.
Yeah.
We are going to see Tommaso Ciampa return to in-ring action. What's he been gone? 9 months?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
If even that. He has been gone 9 months. It's been...
It has not been long enough.
No,
I don't think.
I don't think...
That's a little fucking scary. Unless he went down to Panama and got some stem cells.
Yeah. That's all I can really think. Or, adamantium. Vibranium.
10 to 1 odds if he came back that quickly. Yeah, he went and got some stem cell stuff done. Anyway, that brings us to the main event. And
something I was not looking forward to, but turned into a pretty fucking awesome match.
The way Mauro Ranallo put it like 2 or 3 times in this show, someone's O's gotta go.
Yeah. We have 2 undefeated superstars in Walter and Kushida, and this could have a funky finish to it with Imperium running out and somebody coming out to help Kushida, and maybe the match gets thrown out as no contest. Nay. This goes start to finish, just Walter and Kushida.
Yeah. There was no need for Imperium.
No, none.
I mean, there was times in the match where it looked like it might. There was a time when Kushida had the hoverboard lock on, and it really looked like Walter might tap out.
Before we get any further, we have a super chat.
Holy crap! The Cleaver, Colin Andrew, with a $5 super chat, which makes you the new super chat champion. I don't have a belt or anything, but it is legit. You are the super chat champion.
It is there.
Mm-hmm. He asks, if you guys could pick a new stable in NXT, what would it be? And hashtag NXT team, hashtag no DQ, hashtag mom, the meatloaf! Not as in mom's nickname is the meatloaf, as in Ma! The meatloaf! And if you don't know what we're talking about, you should tune into a stream of our show of the NXT party from last week.
Yep.
And pay attention to the intro.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to say.
But factions inside of NXT at this point. It's kind of hard to make a faction now if we have in there right now.
Would it be a heel faction or a face faction? That's a good question. I think it would have to be a face faction because you've already got the Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
So who would you put in it?
God, Gargano probably.
Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, and somebody else.
I guess Jordan Miles.
Coming with Keith Lee.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a big enough name, but I would rather, if I was gonna go that direction, I would rather put fucking Isaiah Swerve Scott in there.
Oh damn, that'd be great.
Put them both in there. Fuck it, make it 5 guys. They would be a tag. No, we would want Keith Lee and Dominic Dijakovic to be. So who could actually take the North American Championship off of?
Actually, let's back this up a little bit. How about Keith Lee, Jordan Miles, and Isaiah Swerve Scott? Just pretty much as a trio.
I don't like trios anymore.
Oh yeah.
And he said stable. I think a stable has got to be 4 or more.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my new rule. Stable has got to be 4 or more. A faction can be 3, but a stable
Born,
is 4.
Aaliyah, Damian Priest, and Kota Reeves.
That would be cool.
They would look elite, is what they would look, and that'd be pretty badass. And it'd give Kota Reeves something to do.
Let's get into the main event. We've got Kushida versus Walter, and somebody has got to lose their undefeated streak.
Yep.
And it's Kushida.
Kushida eats the loss on this one.
Yeah, he does kick out of Powerbomb number 1, though.
Yep.
And that's because there was no gay seesaw
Yeah,
pinfall.
there was no match booking.
I've got several notes. I had to squeeze them in because I didn't want to start a new sheet. But before I break down the match, what were your thoughts of the main
We were
event?
looking at the time limit that we had left, and he used almost up about 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was a
It
pretty
was,
long match.
it was about 20-25 minutes long, I believe.
Easily.
Yeah, but it didn't feel like it. It actually was pretty well paced, and the only gripe that you could really have about the match was Kushida slipping off the top rope and stumbling. But even then, it, we saw Walter kick the living crap out of him and like knock him stupid. So
Yeah.
it was almost like it could have been staged, but at the same time, we knew it really wasn't. It just was handled more professionally, and kudos to the crowd for not really calling Kushida out on it. Because, like, a lot of other places would have been, you fucked up, or anything else like that, but they didn't. They just went on about their business.
No, because it went so. Okay, so Kushida goes to do a slingshot, like a jump off the top rope from the apron,
Yeah.
and slips on the top rope. He doesn't. He lands on his feet, but he kind of runs into the other ropes. But as soon as he turns around, Walter kicks him in the face.
Yeah.
And so there wasn't very much time for the crowd to process the fuck up before the oh my god kick to the face. Because Kushida sells it like he just got KO'd.
Yeah.
Like he looks like he's staring off into space, that he is literally out with his eyes open.
He knocked him back into 1955.
And I think maybe the spot was supposed to be him coming off the top rope and getting kicked in the face.
That would have been great, too.
I think that would have been much cooler looking, but this was fine for what it was.
Oh, yeah.
That was my first note of the match. And then from there, it was just spot after spot.
I really liked all the different ways that he was going to try to get the arm lock on him. I liked all the ways that he was escaping the sleeper hold. This was actually Kushida's best outing, I think, since he's been in NXT. And it was also the fact
easily.
that he was trying to prove something, even though the match wasn't for the UK belt. He wanted to show that he was worthy of a title around his waist, and
Or get a victory so he could get a title shot.
Yeah, and even then, I'm not sure if he got all the way there, but he's actually got me more convinced of what he could actually do against a guy Walter's size.
I'm convinced that Walter can make Kushida look good.
Yes.
That's all I'm convinced in here. The match was good. It's just I don't think it was Kushida looking good by himself, because most of the stuff we saw him do was the same stuff we've seen him do before. It's just now he's doing it against Walter.
Yeah.
And you've got Walter reversing and him reversing. My second note is Kushida reversing that powerbomb number 1 into a DDT.
Yeah.
Looked great. But again, he's reversing Walter's finisher, and Walter's the one selling.
They don't call him the ring general for nothing. The term ring general is more reserved for guys that have been in the wrestling industry for quite some time, that know the ins and outs. They know where the spots need to be landed. They're able to call matches throughout the match and do different change ups and everything to make the match look way better than it could have looked. And that's what we got out of Walter, I believe, a lot in this match. Like, if he could find a different spot where Kushida could put a submission hold on him, chances are he whispered it to him in some way, shape, or form, or got to the referee that that's what they were going to be doing. And it was wonderfully crafted. It was a very fluid match. I enjoyed it. So.
The next spot note here is Walter on the apron. Kushida goes to do a sunset bomb, jumps over the top rope, and instead of sunsetting bomb Walter, which I knew wasn't going to happen, that wasn't safe. Walter just rears up and stomps on Kushida's face.
Yep.
That was great.
He had it coming.
Again, they're on the apron. All these apron spots. And
it's the hardest part of the ring, you know.
Yeah. Walter runs at Kushida, and of course, Kushida dodges. Walter goes into the post. And then, what did we see? Kushida does that rolling DDT, jumps up from the floor mat, and hits a DDT onto Walter off the apron.
Yep.
That was sick. Then they end up on the top rope, and Kushida gets the Kimura locked on the top rope, and then flips Walter off the top rope with a Kimura suplex.
Yep.
And then that's where, he locks on the hoverboard lock. And there was a couple of times that we thought Walter was about to tap. There was one time where it looked like he did start to tap, but then stopped. And then he ends up getting just a toe on the bottom rope. Breaks the hold. And then a little bit more offense, and then Kushida tries to do the Kimura lock again, and then goes to do like a torpedo, or not a torpedo, a tornado off the corner into like a slam, or again a suplex into it, but Walter like blocks it. He just throws him off, and then hits that basement drop kick that was just wicked looking.
Yep.
Just flattens Kushida, and then picks him up, hits powerbomb number 1 for a regular pinfall and a near fall. Kushida taps out, or kicks out. So Walter picks him up and hits him with a rip. I'm going to call it a ripcord clothesline from hell.
Yep.
Turns him inside out, pins him 1, 2, 3. Walter with the victory. And then Imperium come out and he poses with them on the top of the stage.
And that's when we get the Ciampa Garza for next week announcement. And also, even though they'd already touched on it, I think it was the Velveteen Dream, Roderick Strong one, they just announced again. But otherwise, that was the end of the show.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of What's NXT?
Nuh-uh.
This brings us to the end of the main event.
Yes.
There we go.
We are not done yet, good
Here
sir.
on What's NXT, we like to rate the main... See, I wish I could edit this shit. That's what you get when it's live.
No, because now you're going to get your other wish of not having to edit so much, and we're live.
I don't mind the editing. The editing's fun, and it's relatively quick. It's the processing.
Yeah.
On an hour show, it takes an hour to process the sumbitch.
Yep.
Fuck that. I'd rather just do it live.
Mm-hmm.
So, here on What's NXT, we like to rate the main event using the General's 5-star rating system. And
that was very game show-like of you.
Hey, I got all kinds of fucking weird-ass voices. Just ask my exes. Anyway, Jerry, out of 5 stars, where do you rate this main event?
I'm going to have to go 3 3/4. I figure that's a fair enough assessment for it, with the quarter of it coming off of a fantastic show naturally, so it'd be about a 3.5 star match. There was no real title implications for it for me. I walked in with low expectations, so I just kind of went up from there. And then sure enough, the crowd was into it. I was into it. I still didn't think Kushida was going to win, but I didn't also think that Walter was going to win by fair means either. So for him to actually also win off the clothesline versus the powerbomb. So I don't know. I think I may actually go up to 4 for this one, because that was actually a really great match and an awesome finish to it.
That's how he beat Tyler Bate. This was a long match.
Yeah. For
what it was. I don't know if I would call it a great match. It was a really good match. So great starts at 4, so I'll start this match at 3 3/4 as well, and a 1/4 star off the back of a great show. So I'll agree, 4 stars.
Wow, this is like second or third week we agreed on the main event, I believe.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, I mean, it's NXT. It's
pretty they've done nothing but great shows since they started. It's good. That's where I think this whole AEW thing is gonna, playing the factor, is the fact that NXT has been putting on consistently great shows on the WWE network, and these were just 3 shows divided over 3 weeks.
I think other than last week, though, the main events haven't been the strong matches. Those first 2 weeks where we had 2 main events for the show, one on USA, one on the WWE network, The main events were not the best matches of the show.
No.
And I think this week was the same case. I think the best match of the show was Roderick Strong versus Swerve.
Yeah. The mid-card match usually steals the show. That's pretty much what I like to call the Intercontinental title match. Because usually that's what that belt would be for. It's something along that lines. And that's what the North American title is here. It's essentially the mid-card belt. So
mid-card main event.
So for that to be right smack dab in the middle of the show and pretty much carry us over, it was a beautifully crafted match, and I think that's probably what put the show over the top for me. It was a really great show all around.
So we agree, 4 stars. And that brings us to the end of this episode of What's NXT. We'll get to those after the plugs.
After plugs.
So, thank you for joining us, and please join us tomorrow for our, NXT party.
Yep.
For episode number 64 of NXT UK. I have no idea who we are going to have as guests. It'll be a surprise to you and a surprise to us as well.
Yep.
I know we've got at least 2 members of the NXT team watching, the same 2 that were on the show last week. We'll have them again, folks. That's why we call them the dynamic duo.
Well,
Colin and Chris.
They may be on. We may get somebody else. I'll throw the line out there, see what happens.
I'd like to get Evan on again.
Evan looked like he was pretty entertaining. I'd like him to be on the show as well.
I think we should start getting him on with other members of the NXT team. That's going to be a great dynamic.
Oh, I think it will be too. So
I love the idea of having an actual fucking wrestler on the show. That's amazing. So shout out to Evan. Thank you.
And he adds some personality to you.
King Francis.
Yeah.
And hey, it's the NXT party.
Yep.
Everybody's got fucking old English name. The King. There we go. We found our King.
Yep.
King Evan.
Yep.
It just happened to be his nickname anyway. It works perfect. Mm-hmm. So anyway, if you would like to be on a future episode of the NXT party, come have a spot of NXT with us and help us review a future episode of NXT UK. You can find me on Twitter. Go to nodq.com/Stefan. That's STEFAN. Or if you just want to look me up on Twitter, it's at Stephan R. Osborne, OSBORNE. As always, the R stands for restricted, because apparently we say the word cunt.
We say that word too.
We say the C word on these.
We say C word every now and then.
Who was it last week with the upper cunt?
Oh,
was it Kaylee Ray?
It was Kaylee Ray, yes.
Knox with the upper cunt.
Yep.
Yeah, we are the Rated R show. Colin says, count me in for next week. Cool. That would be cool if we get King Francis on with Colin.
I'll see what I can do.
Let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
No promises, folks, but we will try to do that for tomorrow. And let's see, where was I? Oh,
you're about to talk about
it's restricted because I drop fuck bombs and cunt bombs, and you can also find the gentleman on Twitter
at NoDQ General, and also my Facebook group Armbar, all capital ARMBAR
exclamation point.
Join us there. Memes, discussions, fun times, meatloaf.
Yeah,
eat soup.
That's how you find us on Facebook. Don't add us. We won't add you. But you can add me or follow me on Instagram at osborne.stefan, where I am nothing but a profile pic. I don't use it. I have no content. But I have like 50-some followers. Mm-hmm. I think it'd be hilarious to get to triple digits. So help me get there. Just, for shits and giggles. Other than that, if you like this video, click the like button that's over here underneath me. And if you like all of our videos, do yourself a favor. Click the subscribe button that's over there underneath Jerry. And you are watching this on NoDQ, so click the bell icon, and that'll let you know when we do this show, What's NXT Live, next week.
Which is probably about the same time, about 9.
Somewhere between 8:30 and 9-ish.
Yeah.
And so come have breakfast with us, or
we've already had breakfast.
Drive to work.
We have breakfast while we watch.
Well, for me, it's more like dinner, but whatever. And come find us for the NXT party on Aftermatch Wrestling. That's where that show goes up first and in HD.
Yep.
That's on YouTube. All one word, AFTERMATCH, Aftermatch Wrestling. And help us get to 1,000 subscribers so we can go live with my smartphone. Apparently, we can go live with the laptop. We were going to try to do that tomorrow, but it's a lot of effort, and let's set a goal.
We're super tired.
We're live on No DQ because we got 100 subscribers, so let's say at 250.
Yeah, 250.
At 250, if we can go live with the laptop on Aftermatch, we will start doing the NXT Party Live.
Yeah.
So there we go. New goal. Down from 1,000.
That'll give us plenty of time to learn it.
However, if 1,000 really is what we have to get to, then we have to raise it back up. But I'm pretty sure Noah can go live, and he doesn't have 1,000, so we'll figure it out.
Noah may be on the show with us. He theoretically would be one show down after.
It's been forever.
Since,
Yeah, just to let you guys know, the hardcore fans, because if you're still watching, you're probably a hardcore fan. Just to let you know, we have extended the offer to Noah Foster, the Simple Man, to join us on this show when he can, to bring his 205 Live perspective to what's NXT, given the idea that 205 Live is gone. That may not be the case, but it seems like it is.
It's highly likely in all likelihoods.
Yeah, so you may start seeing Noah as the first and only semi-guest, more like occasional co-host.
Yeah.
So, yeah, What's NXT is going to expand. We were just going to keep it the two of us, but I feel like if NXT, or if 205 Live is coming to NXT, Noah's the 205 Live guy. It only makes sense to get his perspective, because I haven't been watching those shows.
No.
So, look forward to that. In the meantime, I think that's all the plugs.
Yeah, that's all the plugs.
Awesome. For the General Jerry Slaughter, I am the Wizard of No DQ. Oh, yeah. I don't think we have very many, but we will go look. Mark's Reviews, question. Who do you think will be the bigger star in 3 years? Grimes, Swerve, or Miles?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would actually say
Swerve over Miles.
I would say it's going to come down to between Grimes and Swerve.
Yeah, I think it all depends. I noticed this week that you can no longer see Cameron Grimes' abs.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe that's why he wasn't on the show last week. Triple H says, "Where's your abs at?" Well, I'm just gonna have to wait a week or get them back right now.
With Grimes, I'm seeing the same moves like every match so far.
Yeah, especially that insta finisher.
I was about to say he's had 2 matches so far that have ended in less than 20 seconds. So, and if he's anywhere prone to injury as his trainers were, the Hardys, I don't see him sticking around much. But Swerve seems to pace himself well. He's got this charisma to him that I don't think has been unleashed yet. And I actually see a bright future for him. So I'd have to say Isaiah Swerve Scott will have the more longevity, I think, than the other two will.
I think if Cameron Grimes gets a bigger build, because it looks like it's possible.
Yeah.
And gets cut.
Somebody's high on him because he's been appearing on every show since we.
His moveset is shallow so far, but we really haven't seen really long matches out of him where he's been putting in a lot of offense. So I think there's a lot of unknown with Cameron Grimes, but the upside looks like, again, like you said, somebody is high on this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to come down between Swerve and Grimes, but I think somehow Grimes is going to end up being the bigger star.
It's highly possible. He does have a beard.
Yeah, he's a hairy motherfucker.
Yep.
Chris May says, my question before work, when do you see Imperium and Undisputed Era first interacting with each other on NXT Live? Or
I don't. I really don't, because they're both heel factions at this point. If they're going to do anything, they'd be doing it for War Games, and that is entirely too close to be starting a feud with them. Adam Cole's going to be busy with Tommaso Ciampa and or Finn Balor, which I'm starting to think they'll build into a triple threat match. But I don't see Undisputed Era versus Imperium happening anytime soon.
Not till War Games. That's when they'll interact. Is right before War Games.
War Games is in a couple weeks, Chief.
Oh.
So it's at start of November, I'm pretty sure.
Well,
so
then I guess it's not going to happen.
No.
Unless it happens really soon. Let's see. Mark's review says, I think they will ultimately turn Miles into a Cedric Alexander. His gimmick is awful. I said earlier Grimes could be the next Daniel Bryan with some hard work and the right moves in creative. And I don't know about Daniel Bryan, but...
I just looked back at my old notes, and Cameron Grimes actually did beat Isaiah Swerve Scott in the first round of the breakout tournament. So
there you go.
So there you go. I guess it'll be Cameron Grimes actually, possibly becoming a bigger star, or at least the one that Vince McMahon probably pushes more.
Well, that's all the comments that I can see out of all 5 of our viewers. Thank you guys for watching. And again, check us out tomorrow for the NXT party.
Yeah.
Where we will at least have Colin on the big screen.
Yep.
So, for the General Jerry Slaughter, for the last time, I'm the Wizard of No DQ.
For the last time.
Thank you for joining us, and we will see you NXT time.